Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the indieRift podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Steve Fontana, and with me, as always, he's Andy Asimakis. He is the Pants Man. What's up, bud? How are you?
We're back for the second week in a row.
Second week in a row, and really, it's the third if 10 days is okay, because
It's totally okay.
you know what I mean. Yeah, I mean this has been a crazy week for video games in general with the Switch 2 reveal direct, showing us all the goodies that are going to be coming for the Switch 2, plus the hardware and all the fun stuff, only for it all to be thrown into disarray. And we will be discussing all of that in this week's show. And of course, we're going to bring you some of the hot indies that you should be having on your radar or playing right now. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is the indieRift podcast, the internet's #1 indie gaming news, reviews, and previews podcast, hosted by two people you've never heard of and you've never listened to. And we post each and every week, we promise, on your favorite podcast service of choice, including our home Podbean. We're on everything, so just type in indieRift and everything will show up. Our other two shows will show up as well. Dev Dive, a conversational podcast where we talk to indie developers about their video games, and Dev Dive Side Table, where we talk to indie tabletop gaming developers and creators and get their stories about their games and their careers and all of that happy fun stuff. So go check us out there. And if you like what you're listening to and you want to support us and help us continue to do this, go to patreon.com/indieRift, just like our Patreon producer, Colton, the journeyman, Nestler. Can't continue to do any of this without all of your support. So thank you so much for those who do support us. And just share the show. That's the easiest way. If you want to help us out, download the show, give us a comment, subscribe to our channels, but most importantly, share it. Tell people. Be like, hey, I found this other show that is kind of fun. And they tell me stories about games, and I like it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Andy? You know,
that was
you get what I mean.
flawless. A 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
Landing.
That's good.
If there was a scorecard, I would just raise it up right now.
We did an interview, which we're going to get into on what's new on indieRift.com. We did an interview this week. When was that? Monday? Yes, it was Monday. And after the interview, it was a great interview. I personally felt weird. Like, I just felt off. I felt like I was in a cloud.
I don't know why.
I just felt like I was in one of those, like, low blood sugar clouds. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I didn't get that at all.
That's fine. And, when I was watching it back, it didn't appear that way. But that's just how I felt. And then on Tuesday, I was like, something's going on in my throat. Feeling a little scratchy. Daughter also feeling scratchy.
Oh, there it is.
Like, what's going on here? Wednesday, didn't wake up. All sleepies. Just slept all day. I woke up at 6 o'clock, got ready for work, sat down on the couch at 7, getting ready to leave, and was just like, I'm not doing this. Texted the boss. Was like, not happening. Sorry. Went back to bed. I woke up at like, I think I woke up at like 7 p.m. or like 8 p.m., something like that, on Wednesday. And I went back to bed pretty early, like 11:30. Woke up at normal time in the morning. I worked from home on Thursday. And I now understand the difference. Like, I feel rested and like a normal person today. And I guess Monday was just my body was giving me hints that my brain was giving me hints that it was time to chill out and take a nap. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure how far up my own ass my head is, but I did not connect you not feeling off on Monday to the other day you just being full blown sick. I did not make that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think, oh wait, maybe that's why he felt weird on Monday.
I did.
I crossed my mind at all.
Yeah, no, it was weird. But it was a great interview. And what interview was that, Andy? What's new on indieRift?
Oh boy, Monster Crown Sin Eater sequel.
Mm-hmm.
This was actually a really good conversation.
It really was, yeah.
Interesting story how you have a director and a creator passing off his creation to someone else, and they're just producing the sequel. It's a really interesting dynamic. But again, great humans, great story, even better game.
Yep.
Demo out right now on Steam. Go play it. Wishlist it. It's on PC and Switch. I imagine Switch too.
And the demo is also available on itch.
On itch,
And
yes,
they're
correct.
working on getting the demo on GOG as well. But of
Mhm.
course, support the game on their Kickstarter. So if
Yes.
you go to Kickstarter, you search Monster Crown Sin Eater. Maybe we'll put the link in our show description here while we're talking about it. But yeah, check out the interview on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@indieRift, or on any podcast service. Just search Dev Dive. And our most recent episode is with Monster Crown creators, Jason Walsh and sorry, I'm blanking. It was what was his name?
Ahab.
Ahab. That's right. It was Ahab.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Again, Monday I was weird. I was off. It was a great interview. So check that out. It's the reason why we do these things. That was the third time Jason had been on our show. We have been following Monster Crown and the journey that is Monster Crown for, like 8 years now at this point. Like seven
Dude, yeah, I
years.
feel like a good chunk of the dev cycle we've been in
Yeah.
this man's life.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right, let's slide now into the indie game adventures. Andy has a couple of games he wants to talk about on this week's program. Andy, take it away, bud.
Well, speaking of guests of the show, Godstone is out. You know this game, Steven.
I
He was on the show
forgot.
many, many moons ago.
I forgot about this game. Like full blown forgot about that this game existed. And that's not a knock. It's just, you just forget about these things. There are so many great games. But yeah, this game, it's finally here. When did we? God, when
It
did
was
we have?
last year.
It was, yeah, I know it was last year, but like
Last year.
it feels
I've
like
been watching him slowly increase his marketing. His YouTube shorts are hilarious. We'll put that link below for you guys to check out. But the game's finally here, solo dev, one-man team, and it makes me wish I didn't suck at mouse and keyboard.
oh,
I
yeah,
can't mouse and keyboard to Metroidvania. That
interesting.
doesn't work for me. I can't. There's I love the game. It's sprites, it's a roguelike, it's got a good spooky, gloomy soundtrack, great design. I love it's all magic based, like casting spells and all that shit. But man, do I not do well with a mouse and a keyboard in this space. The precision isn't there for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the you use the mouse for directional
Right.
for your spells,
Yeah.
and you left click to cast, and then you move with your WASD, and you have your your potions and your inventory and your skill set, whatever. No,
Can't do it,
I
huh?
need to joy to key this thing. So I liked what I played so far. It's a lot of fun. I just suck at it. It's totally a me thing. It's all a me thing.
No. It's not a you thing. It's a. I mean, it's a you thing in the respect that it's a player thing. Like there are some people who can and some who can't. I'm a can't person. Like I can't even do shooters with a mouse and keyboard, and that's like the basic thing that people can do with a mouse and keyboard as far as gaming goes. Of course, I could do RTSs and whatnot with mouse and keyboard.
Of course,
obviously, like those are like it's kind of like made for that. But yeah, for action games that need precision or need quick action or high responsiveness is like I just can't do it. Like I don't get it. It's just not a muscle memory. I'm sure it could be a muscle memory thing, but the journey to get there with those kind of types of games is more frustrating than it's worth to me. Like I sour on the product before I click with the controls, and that's not a design issue. It's a player issue for 100% sure. Like 100%. I don't know. Maybe one day there'll be a controller situation for that. But it doesn't seem like it. It seems like it's not designed.
I'm gonna try Joy to Key because you could emulate a mouse's movement in Joy to Key. So I'm gonna try that later and see how it works, because it's a game that again it ticks all the boxes. It's dungeon crawler, roguelike, sprites, amazing score, like screen filling, massive bosses, just like really great production value for a one-person team. And that barrier, I have to get past it because I can't not play this. and enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, this would be impressive for a 12-person team, and the fact that like one
You're right.
person
Yeah,
threw this
exactly.
together is like incredible. Now, last show you told us that you were going to play Koira, and it looks like
Koira's out.
it looks like you've done it. You've
Koira's
played it.
out, and I love it. I
Yeah.
love simplistic, cozy games that remind me why I'm a dog person so much. So to set the stage, you're like a little shadow silhouette,
Mhm.
sad looking guy walking through an equally sad silhouette, shadowy looking world. Um, you can only walk where light is hitting the space. So you can't walk in the shadows or the darkness. And you come across a little pup that's cowering in the corner, and you're slowly coaxing it towards you by, I guess, humming or singing notes to it, and it's kind of responding back to you. And you finally get it to come out of its little hole. You pet it, and it teaches you some songs or some notes that you then use to sing to a rock to restore an apple that's been eaten whole again to feed the dog. Then the dog's nose is all Rudolph reindeer light up
Yep.
action, and that's now your light source to navigate this dark, shadowy world. And it's you and this dog just bonding for this entire game, and it's so wholesome and it's so adorable, and I love it. I love it so much.
So is the gameplay loop like different sort of puzzle situations where you're using the
Correct.
dog's songs and
Correct.
calls and yeah,
Yeah.
that's cute. That's very cute.
Yeah.
You got some stealth situations in there, and
And you can pet
yeah.
the dog, which is
Oh,
so adorable.
if you couldn't pet the dog, come on, man.
Oh, you can pet frogs also in Godstone as a
Oh,
just back to that game
nice.
for a quick second.
Very nice. Very nice. You
I
love to
feel
see
like if
that.
you have animals and you can't pet them, it's like a huge faux pas.
Yeah, then what are you doing in life? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you shouldn't be in game dev if you can't pet your animals in your game.
It's true. It's very true.
Yeah. So
Um,
Korra's out right now. Really cute. I love it. And you should all love it too.
Indeed. That's going to do it for the indie game adventure. So check those games out. We have some news to go over.
Mm-hmm.
The Switch 2 has been revealed to the public. We get to see all the goodies, and besides the fancy hardware, the Joy-Con 2 that can be used as optical mouses, which I think is the
That was
best
really
part.
neat.
I think that's the best part of the whole thing,
That's smart.
because that opens up, like, you can't really play those mouse and those mouse games, whatever, cursor games with a touchscreen. You can, but it just doesn't feel right, you know?
Who wants to?
Yeah, yeah. But like with those awesome little Joy-Con, you just turn them on their side and they're
I
optical
think the
mices.
sock shoe people play their games
That's
that
true.
way.
That's true. And most of my kids' generation, they could the stuff they could do with touch controls is remarkable. But we also got some game announcements, sort of, quasi reveals and whatnot. And the first one was that Enter the Gungeon 2 was announced for Switch 2 and PC. Andreas, that's good news.
I never had more mixed feelings about a game ever.
So tell me what your mixed feelings are. I want to know what your mixed feelings are.
Two concerns.
Okay.
One is I'm not entirely sold on the graphical approach.
Okay.
Usually I'm all about watching indie games from pixel art go to like polygons.
Mm-hmm.
I love the glow up. I've praised it in Hyperlight. I've praised it in Moonlighter. But this felt a little wrong to me. And it kind of goes to my second concern.
Interesting.
Is
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's a readability issue in a bullet hell with that 3D verticality going on.
Right. Yeah. Because some of the bullets
If
like
you
go
know
over you
what's
and
coming at you.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that could be a little concerning. But then as I watched it, the style kind of grew a little bit on me. Whiplash, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm glad it exists because I had no idea this was even in the works. The last thing we saw from this series was that arcade light gun game that they were working on.
Yeah.
but that was just for actual arcade, not
Yeah.
for
Yeah. Right.
home
Right. Right.
consumption.
I
Uh,
I just want to touch
yeah.
on the graphical thing because I
Yes.
I could see your concerns like as a
Mm-hmm.
Gungeon aficionado, but like we've seen these top down isometric or these quasi 3D or 2.5D. We've seen this done before,
Mm-hmm.
and you know we've seen the y-axis work in something like Returnal, for example. Obviously, you can move the camera more freely in that, and it's a little easier to judge and what you know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if there's any team that's going to make this feel good and be what we expect it to be, it's gonna be them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing it in action, it feels for lack of a better term, it feels Nintendo. It feels Pixar. It
Mm-hmm.
feels more polished and high end and something that really stands out above the pixel 2D sort of pile that happens, you know,
Right.
when think about when the Switch came out, right? Like Switch came out and it was pixel 2D Metrovania pixel. It was like pixel games all over the place. They were ported easily, and now seeing this is kind of, to me, it's more like a breath of fresh air, just visually. Um, Gameplay wise, it does look in the short snippet that we were given. I think it looks like it's going to be as challenging as Gungeon, but
Mhm.
as visually rewarding as Gungeon as well. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I trust Dodgeball. I trust Devolver Digital to give them the proper budget to make this work. Uh, but yeah, it's a wait and see. I'm
Hmm.
I'm excited, but I gotta see more than what was like 20 seconds of gameplay.
Yeah, it was about
Whatever that
20
was.
seconds. Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of 20 seconds, uh we got 20 seconds of
That.
Silksong. Silksong is confirmed to be launching on Switch 2 in
Mm,
2025. So it's 2025, it's happening in 2025. That's the whole thing, was that Switch 2 is coming as of yesterday or 2 days ago. Um
yeah.
is coming in June.
No,
Well,
it's launching globally. Asterisk. And then
yes, it's launching globally in June. Pre-orders in April, but not anymore. We'll get into that as we move on. Um, but yeah, Silksong. You know, we had the rumors here. We spoke about the rumors of Silksong. Is it coming in 2025? Is it not coming in 2025? The fact that it's confirmed for Switch 2, I feel like they wouldn't do this if it wasn't ready to go. So I think we're here. I think we finally understand what's happening. Hopefully, you know, it will come to everything else if we don't get our hands on a Switch 2 in 2025. Um, but I digress. There was,
well, listen, it's coming to Game Pass also, and then
yeah, no,
it's
I
got up
know.
right back up to the
I
top
just mean
spot of the
in
Steam wish
Switch
list.
2.
So
I just mean on the Switch 2. Like I hope that, you know, if you look at what's coming in not launch window but launch day sort of
right.
thing. Like I feel like this is going to need some help in that launch. The larger the launch, the more packed the launch window gets, the better it's going to be for the Switch 2, because right now launch day doesn't look great.
Mm.
And the launch window seems to be kind of not as packed as you would hope. So, but again,
I'm just
still early.
wondering. I'm wondering what are they holding on to in terms of marketing? Okay, it's out for this year. This is
Mhm.
now confirmed.
You
You
mean,
couldn't show
are you talking about
you
Switch, or are you
couldn't
talking
show.
about Silksong?
I'm talking about Team Cherry. You couldn't have given us a little, just a little something. I'm not sure what the holdup is on the marketing,
We
or
don't,
they understand
yeah,
that the hype is already there. They don't need to show anything, which I understand.
yeah.
But like, you could have given a little snippet of something for Nintendo.
I mean, it could have been a Nintendo's call where they were like, "We have 20 seconds for you. We have 15 seconds for you."
Bro,
You know,
you
it
do
could have been.
not give that. You cut something.
Do you? I mean,
You cut something for fucking Hollow Knight.
think of all the games in that showcase that actually got time, right? It maybe 3 games. Like I don't like Metroid 4 didn't even Metroid Prime 4 didn't even get Uh,
Well, that got a full blown thing not too long
I
ago.
know, but still, if you're trying to get people excited, like, I don't know, give us a little more of the first party stuff. The Mario Kart situation looks phenomenal. Like,
Mhm.
I, and then of course everyone shit their pants at the price of the games, and then we're like,
Yeah.
well,
Listen,
even that's gonna change. So
you could have trimmed down that Elden Ring trailer a little bit,
see, I'm going to disagree. I think for hindsight is 2020, right?
right?
When we got the Switch and when we were talking about Nintendo for all those years that it was the Nintendo dual screens,
Hmm.
all we kept really talking about was that Nintendo needs to get grown up shit on their system. They need system sellers for adults. Like, we need a gritty, like we were talking about a gritty or Metroid Prime for how long? Like my
Oh, we
my
were,
my
yeah,
pitch
like
of
a
it
full
being
blown
like,
like horror
yeah, like, so
Metroid
like
game.
we've been
Yeah.
talking about servicing the 18 to 35 whatever's or 45s or however how old you are now, 60, I don't know, you got your AARP card, I don't know, but I'm right behind you. You know, we've been talking about that, so like I think pulling those eyeballs to a Nintendo console is way more important than showing another indie title or more of whatever Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like, I just think at this stage of the game, it's way more important to bring those
I
people in.
I get it. We have Cyberpunk, which was also shown. You
Yes,
could have like you could have. I'm not saying cut
Cyberpunk is
it, just
old.
but listen, I get it. Elden Ring was the prelude to the Duskbloods reveal. That's
Right,
where you're like teasing the From Software
right.
thing into something brand new.
Like, look what we
So
can get to work on this thing. But wait, there's more. You know,
yeah, so you trim that a little bit. You give that room to Hollow Knight, and then everyone's happy.
whatever.
Yeah.
I just think. I mean, it's Duskblood is coming next year, so
Right.
um, you know, the Elden Ring thing is coming
Oh
this
yeah, that's
year,
true.
so
Yeah.
kind of
Okay.
whatever. Um,
Yeah.
a bunch of indie games were confirmed for
Hmm.
Switch. Hades 2, Human Full Flat 2, Marvel Comic Invasion, a Reanimal,
Ah,
um, all kinds of fun stuff was announced.
so
I'm gonna
many
actually play the
things.
sizzle reel while we're chatting a little bit about this.
Yo,
Um,
dude, the that Marvel game, I'm all over that shit.
I don't did I feel like I might not have been paying attention at that point, or maybe I tuned in a little late. I don't know.
This was the 2D side scrolly beat 'em up
Yes, 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 yes,
by
yes, yes,
Tribute
yes, yes, yes,
Games.
yes.
Yeah.
Tribute. Yeah, I knew. Yeah,
Mhm.
of course, of course. Um, yeah, I mean, they can't do any wrong. Like, I feel like
No,
they just
I don't. Nope.
they understand what they're doing. They understand the assignment. Like, they get
Yeah.
it. Here it's showing on the screen now. Yeah, it's I mean, come on, man. Team up moves. Got Outlaws coming as well. Star Wars,
Yeah.
a little Star War happening. They also said Sid Meier's Civ 7 will be coming
Yes.
as well, which is dope
Hmm.
because with the whole mouse thing, that would make that game so much easier to
Hmm.
play. Um, yeah, Fast Fusion showing as well on here. Shadow Labyrinth, Nintendo Switch 2 edition. So one of the big things about the Switch 2 reveal is that they're going to be doing some upgrade versions of games that are compatible for an upcharge, essentially. Um, so I mean, I don't care. Like, okay, as long as it's like better. I mean,
Hmm.
what are we complaining about, really? Um, I get it. Backwards compatibility is all the rage, but remember that
Hmm.
study that was like, well, 3% of console users actually use backwards compatibility
If
or whatever.
that, yeah. I
Um,
was like, well, okay, maybe this isn't worth making an investment
I will
into.
say one thing that actually pissed like actually angered me about everything. And I mentioned this in our Discord, which you can join by going to
I
patreon.com/indieRift.
I
Um,
think I know what you're gonna say.
they revealed the newest addition to Nintendo Online.
Yes.
And exclusive to Switch 2 is Nintendo GameCube emulation and games.
Yes.
I need someone to sit me down and explain logically how the technology from the year 2000 cannot be emulated on the Nintendo Switch from 2017 when it was emulated on the Wii U in some ways, and the Wii before. The Wii played the discs.
Yeah, it did.
But on the Switch, you're telling me that we couldn't have Nintendo GameCube emulation. Make it make sense to me.
It's not that you can't, they just don't want to do it.
What is the hurdle? Why? Why would you want less money? That makes no sense to me.
I don't know.
There's no logical reason.
This will entice folks to upgrade to the Switch 2 more easily if the GameCube is now part of that online library set.
That is the only thing that would make sense, but is also just unequivocally evil. Like, just
well, this is also Nintendo we're talking about, and Nintendo. I mean, their emulation on the Switch sucks ass anyway.
It's not good. Yeah, it's not.
It's like a 1-for-1, which sounds like okay, that's what you want. It should act and look like the original games, but you don't have a CRTV in your hand. This is like a modern LCD screen in 1080p resolution, and all them stretched out jaggy pixels and polygons.
I mean, I'll say this, Andy.
Really show their age.
They do show their age, but it also doesn't. Like, looking at those GameCube games, the GameCube was so good. It was so ahead of its time.
It was good.
Like,
the GameCube was great.
When you look at Luigi's Mansion or Metroid Prime and all, like, those games are just, they were like butter, man.
It would have been
Resident
nice
Evil 4.
Right. But if they could have upscaled them.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice.
And
on
also,
that 7.2 inch
Eternal
screen.
Darkness?
Don't worry about it.
What the fuck is Eternal Darkness?
Don't worry about Eternal Darkness.
That's a sin that game is not part
Just
of
don't
the
worry
launch
about it.
lineup. It's like one of 10 good games on the GameCube.
Yeah. Couple of other things. Pricing. $450 dues.
Yeah.
Which is, it's, again, we're going to talk about this, but it will be way more than that soon.
Right.
They have like a Nintendo tutorial like thing where you could like learn how to do things in games, and apparently you're paying for it.
Yes.
All that. Game sharing was cool. It's something that, the other consoles have had for a little bit, but I cannot believe that they allowed showing how it really works in this reveal, because it looked like garbage. Those poor people were so choppy. Like, the gameplay itself of like the main gameplay was fine. It looked like it was running buttery smooth, but like all the people sharing, or all like the people sharing their cameras, which, by the way, there's a Switch 2 camera peripheral, which is pretty cool. Again, welcome to fucking PS3 era.
Welcome to 20 years ago.
Or the what was it? The was that PS3?
The PlayStation Eye.
PlayStation Eye, was that PS2 or PS3? Was that 3?
PS3.
What was the iJoy, right? Wasn't it called an iJoy on PS2 or something like that?
Familiar.
I remember there being a PS2 camera because I got it like right before that card game came out with PS3, and then I upgraded the camera.
Eye of Judgment is what you're talking about.
Eye of Judgment was the game.
Yeah.
But there was a camera before, there was a camera before that you could use from PS2 to PS3, but Eye of Judgment didn't work on it. So I had to upgrade and get the new camera, and then I swear to God I remember this. It was
again, welcome to 20 years ago.
But anyway, welcome to the 21st century, Nintendo. It sounds like we're throwing a lot of shade. It's just weird that they do it now. People are all excited. It's like, come on, guys.
Well, it's like, look at game chat. Game chat, it looked laggy as shit.
It looked horrible. It
You
looked
could
really
have
bad.
Discord integration into your brand new
No,
hardware.
they can't, because you would need Discord doesn't have a 62-digit code for you to use to talk to people. So why would? Well, of course not. Of course they wouldn't have it. The hell's wrong with you? I mean, the indie scene looks like it's going to be healthy on Switch 2, which is great. And of course, then the hammer came down. The United States is throwing tariffs around like they're condoms at Pride Parade. It's just not looking good. People are really nervous that this thing is going to cost a lot of money. Man. Due to the tariffs, which is actually going to bring us to a mailbag question from Farmer Pete in our Discord, which again, you could join by going to patreon.com/indieRift. Just like Farmer Pete, who's in here and has a question. With the update that they are delaying the pre-order date in the US to reevaluate the price due to tariffs. Well, I'm going to pause there because this is one of the things. Nintendo came out today with a statement saying they are no longer going to be doing pre-orders starting on April 9th, which is just 5 days from now. They're going to be delaying it basically indefinitely until they could figure out what they're going to do with the actual cost of the Switch with the new, I think Japan has 34% tariffs on them, something like that.
Yeah, I think the main issue is Vietnam. The 46%.
Right. Yes. You're correct. Happens. You are correct. Yes. Getting back to the question, to reevaluate the price due to tariffs, how much more than the previously stated pricing of $450/$500 are you guys willing to pay? Andy, for the audio listeners, is showing up a big old zero.
It is, Farmer Pete, it's a little hard sell as it is. I feel that this is the first time in a long time I wasn't sold on the day one purchase. I am going to get one for Ken for his birthday. That was the gift I promised him, so he's locked in for that.
Okay.
I was going to buy two. That was always my plan. But I don't feel the pull to get it on day one. And a higher price is just going to say, great, this is why I made this choice. And I'm happy with it.
When the reveal was happening, so my kids, unprompted, a couple of weeks ago, were playing Mario Kart by themselves, and they're not video gamers. They play a little bit on their iPads, but they don't like my daughter really likes Roblox. She plays it on her iPad.
Yeah.
She likes Dress to Impress and all those games on there. She really likes them. Jack likes playing like My Singing Monsters and a couple other things on and Minecraft. Like those are like the two that he likes. But every once in a while they play Mario Kart, and I was watching this reveal and I'm like, what if I pull them in with this? Like launch day, getting in line with me, picking a game out that they want.
That's a moment.
You know what I mean? Like I was thinking about that. And I was like,
that's a moment.
I could, $500, I don't care. And honestly, $500 is probably like the entry level price that I would be paying, because I'm going to be getting extra controllers and this and that, and a couple of games. Whatever. Yeah. I believe that this system is going to be $700 when it's all said and done. And I think what's going to, column A, choice A and choice B. I think choice A is it's just going to be $700 and people are going to be really upset about it. But my gut is telling me Nintendo's going to delay this into 2026 in the States.
Ooh.
I think
to visit your family in Canada and get some.
I'm just saying, I'm going in the summer. I'm going in August. Yeah. So
if I send you a Venmo,
I might be getting some Switch 2s.
Why.
So I think that that's a real possibility, especially if, I think dollar value all in day one, if I make the decision that I'm going to do it with all the extra bells and whistles, if my kids are into it, I think the most I would go is $800. like all in with everything.
Yeah.
And that's me. Like I've never spent, well, I think $800 is what I spent on launch day for PS3, like with the extra games and controllers. Like I think I got 2 games and an extra controller. So, and it was the,
Yeah.
the fat backwards compatible one. So
Yeah.
whatever that was, 60 gig one. 60 gigs. Can you imagine? I just downloaded a friggin' Cowabunga collection. It was half that.
Right. Now 4 terabytes isn't enough for us.
Bonkers. Yeah, I think $800, like just to give that
All right.
moment, but it's not because I want to Switch 2. It's because I want to create memories and I want to like
Yeah,
get my
man,
kids
like
in on the ground level.
that you can't moments like that are few and far between. And the idea of like going to a mall or a shopping center or a
Best
game hub that
Buy.
still exists, you know, and waiting online for that brand new fresh console, like just the hype and energy around it from the crowd and the people, they should at least once experience that, because I've done that twice
Hmm.
in my life. It's
Yeah.
always a blast,
I've done it
and
for,
I sort of miss it, to be honest.
I did it for PS3. I think, can't remember. I think my wife did it for PS4.
Hmm.
Um, did I did it for PS5. I did it for Switch, obviously, with Buzz Killington, and that's how my friendship rekindled with Buzz Killington.
Yeah.
It's been downhill ever since.
You see, look at that. That's exactly why we do this
But
shit.
yes,
So
that's a core memory. It's a
Switch
core
is to blame.
it's a core memory for me. Like I remember, and that's how this podcast started. It all started that night.
Yeah.
That night,
Yeah.
it was, do I want like everyone was hyped. The Switch is coming. The Switch is coming. It was like, oh shit, it's like today. Do I want this? And I remember just posting on Facebook, do I want to go and get a Switch right now? And Buzz is a friend of mine from Facebook. We went to high school together. We really didn't hang out at all. We didn't really know each other, but we were friends because we went to high school together. And he was like, I'm going. I'll pick you up. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's it. So he drove to my house. He picked me up. We went to Best Buy. We got, I think I was number 67, and I think the cutoff was like 73. And we got our Switch, and then we were like, let's podcast. They were like, cool. And that was it. It was all from there.
He has not left the house since.
He has not, yes, he's not left our Discord since. Farmer Pete actually has a comment about this that he wrote in one of our channels here.
Oh.
Says
the live show.
Yeah, the videos I've been seeing of Donkey Kong look really fun, which actually does look phenomenal.
That game looks really good.
But to go off my mail,
priced appropriately too.
It is. But to go off my mailbag question, I'm honestly not sure if I'm willing to pay much more than $500 bundle for the limited amount of games at release. If they raise it too much, I'm going to be real tempted to wait and see if they get that junk straightened out by fall/winter.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope.
Farmer Pete on this. I did read on the old Bloomberg that they've been chatting the current administration and Vietnam about what's going on. So hopefully some deal is hashed out. Hopefully, you know, it'll be a good test for this whole tariff bullcrap. If how
this is
gonna work. Again, I understand from a business perspective or like on a personal level, like if it was you and me, like you're taking this from me, give me something too. But this doesn't affect the global market, and that's not being factored into the equation, I think, at all.
What's not being factored into the equation, and you know, I have some people that are like plugged into this kind of thing that I speak to, and like they're much smarter than me, but they kind of break it down. It's like what's not being factored in is the services that the United States sells. Our goods are a very small percentage of our GDP. It's our services that are the majority. And this equation of making up the delta between what we're importing and what we're exporting to each country is not one-to-one, because it's not factoring in the services that are purchased.
Right.
Our software and technology and digital, all that fun stuff. Our infrastructure, our military aid, or military defenses and things like that other countries pay for. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to level out. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be painful. There's going to be look, we're winning because we got what we wanted, but like, what are we getting?
Yeah, I
Hopefully
mean, the
it's
idea of
quicker.
using this as a cudgel against other nations is so bonkers to me. Uh, so we'll see
Especially
how this
nations
all
that like
shakes out.
they don't like. There are a lot of nations like how much does Vietnam like have to spend on our stuff? Like
Yeah,
we
that's
are the
another
richest
thing.
country in the world because and we spend like it. Like we
Right.
buy
And
a
then
lot of
like
shit.
you see like okay, it's a 96% tariff I think that they have on us, but what okay, that's a high number, but of what?
Yeah,
Like
like
that's
three
you have to
things.
like distill it
Yeah, yeah,
and break it down to like
yeah.
what the dollars and cents look like.
Right. Like oh
So
yeah,
again, I understand it from a very technical base level idea of fairness,
yeah,
but there's so much more than just that aspect of it.
yeah.
But that's an easy sell to his core base
Right.
that we're being ripped off. We're gonna get our fair share now,
Well, we'll
and
see because
that's a strong message.
we're a consumer nation and
We
consumption is going to
are.
be very expensive
We are,
very
and the
soon.
Switch 2 needs our dollars. I mean, listen, Japan loves them Switch, but they have $100 cheaper version for a region locked
Yeah.
version of the Switch 2. They can't live on just Japan sales only.
No.
They need the US
They
sales.
need they need
So
yeah,
let's
they need
hope
the sure.
that gets resolved ASAP.
Resolved. Let's get into the wish list roundup. We have a few games to talk about here. The
Oh yeah.
first one on our list is and by the way, the wish list roundup are games that we find throughout our either our emails from publishers or browsing the Steam, getting into the nitty gritty and looking at stuff that looks cool. And this one does look cool and looks right up my alley. It is called Hungry Horrors. And here's the little write up for it. Embark on a culinary quest in Hungry Horrors, a roguelike deck builder where cooking replaces combat. As a brave princess, you will prepare dishes and feed legendary creatures from British and Irish folklore and avoid becoming their next meal.
So I played this demo,
You did,
Steven,
did you?
recently.
You like it?
And it's so much fun. You're just lobbing like meat and potatoes and pancakes at monsters' faces.
Yeah, love that.
And so they don't attack. Well, they do attack, but they just inch slowly closer towards you with each turn, or they can poison you or steal some of your items in your backpack. But once they get to you, you're dead. It's
Mm-hmm.
like a one hit and you're over. That's it. And you have to feed them. And if you feed them all the way and they become like a what they call full status, um, they drop a little item or a recipe or ingredient, and then they just walk away and you progress.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cute. And you learn new recipes and find new ingredients. And there's a roguelike bit of like getting herbs or a spatula that adds like a savory quality to your dishes or
Oh, that's
saltiness or
fancy.
sweetness. And you have to stack. You can stack your cards based on what the enemies what they're craving.
Right,
If you feed them like a porridge, they like that. Now they want something that's a bit more saltier.
right.
So you hurl like pickled eggs at them and you get a bonus multiplier for fulfilling that craving. And if you keep doing it, that's how you really like knock off all their health.
That's dope.
So it's really neat. It's a fun little game.
Yeah, and it looks like there's like stuff they don't like that will give you negative
Yes,
effects and stuff like that. So you have to kind of
correct.
balance that as well.
You got to see, and also when you find out what they like, it saves it on the card,
Oh, nice.
so you know what's that enemy type, what their cravings are, what they love, what they like, what they dislike. But it's really cute.
Awesome. Yeah, no,
I think
I'll
you'll
be
like it.
downloading that for sure.
That's a you game,
That is
100%.
a me ass game for sure.
Yeah.
This next one is a you and me ass game. It's Shrine's Legacy. Shrine's Legacy is an SNES era inspired 16-bit RPG set in a magical world of Ardemia. Follow a pair of heroes as they try to unite the elements of magic, restore the Sword of Shrine, and save the world in both single player and cooperative action. This is by developer Positive Concept Games and publishers indie.io. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, let's take a look at this one.
This will be at PAX East.
It
This was
will be.
part of the lineup I saw. Again, the demo is out for Steam. It's been out for a long time. If you like old school Zelda top-down dungeon crawly RPGs with some really great writing and some great combat and some amazing graphics, look no further. This game has all that and more.
Yeah, it reminds me of
It's been
like
in the works for a long time. I've been following it for quite a bit actually. So it's getting close, I think, to the end
it looks great.
of its dev
I, lo-
cycle.
I
Yeah.
love the combat.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it's not like turn based or
Mm-mm.
4-directional. You know,
Right.
and a lot. Dengue. His name is Dengue. It's got the dengue
Dengue.
fever. This is the last one. Yes, last one on the list here. This is a very Andy game.
Mm-hmm.
Tyto.
Mm-hmm.
Take flight and glide through a breathtaking world in this visually stunning platformer where you play as a lost owlet searching for its family in a vast and perilous forest. This is developed and published by Dream Job Studio.
Come on. Look at it.
Yes, let's
How
look
could
at
you
it.
resist it? You're playing as a little tiny
Gorgeous.
baby owl.
Gorgeous.
And I don't see any enemies.
This
It's
is like
just
Flappy Bird.
navigating the world, it looks like.
This is like Flappy Bird, but good. You know, it's like it's like if Flappy Bird had more than just what Flappy Bird was.
Had real mechanics.
Yeah, like any sort of actual fun.
Yeah, I don't see. Again,
This looks awesome. Oh my goodness.
yeah,
I'm like
it looks
mesmerized by
really
it.
simple.
Fluid.
And again, I don't see any sort of enemy or combat.
Yeah,
It's
this is
just,
all
you're just navigating
collecting,
the space.
navigating,
Yeah.
collecting, unlocking parts of the map, avoiding terrible spikes and death.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be wishlisting that. That does look
Mhm.
fun. It looks honestly anxiety inducing for me. Because you know how
Right.
I'm bad at the platforming.
I know.
So bad at so bad. But that's technically not platforming. It's more like the water levels in Mario.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it is.
It's like the underwater level in Turtles 1.
Let's not invoke that. Let's not do that. Okay. We're trying to get people to wish list, not to yeet their Steam library into the street.
Not to swat the developer's home.
Yeah, we're not trying to. Yeah, come on, man. We have another little news story. So the little story here that I thought was really cool, and it's going to take us into our indie steal of the week. So, Andy, tell us about how you found this next game.
So usually when I look at stuff for the wish list or things to play or demos or what have you, I kind of I troll the indie dev Reddits because I feel a lot of up and coming developers have their stuff out there and it's not being plastered on major news sites or news outlets, and they're not on the top of the wish list charts, that's for sure. So, that's where I found Tyto, for example, and I put that on the wish list. But I came across a game, a headline for a post that really drew my attention, and it starts off with this: I spent over 7 years developing a game all by myself. Now that no one is playing it, I realize how much it actually affects me. I had to stop and read. So it's a lengthy post. I'm gonna read the choice bits of this,
Okay.
and we can kind of go from there. Okay.
Started over 7.
Yeah.
I think that's
Over
that's
7 years ago, I started working on my own game. I am not a professional developer. I taught myself everything step by step over the years. Programming, art, music, all of it. I created over 37,000 images for the game, every single one hand drawn or assembled by me. I also made around 500 original songs for the soundtrack.
500 G.
There was never a team or a budget behind it. Just me, many late nights, a lot of time, and a whole lot of heart. I knew from the start that it wouldn't be a big hit, quote unquote. I was fully aware that it's not a mainstream game, that it has rough edges, and that it might not appeal to everyone. But still, deep down, I hoped that at least a few people would take interest in it, that maybe someone would get lost in this shadowy, strange little world the same way I did while making it. Now that the game is out and no one is playing it, literally zero, no feedback, no comments, nothing. And honestly, it hits harder than I expected. You put so much of yourself into something, time, energy, love, and then there's just silence. No criticism, no praise, just emptiness.
Mm.
I keep asking myself, what do people think when they see my game? Is it too weird? Is it too amateurish? Or did I just do a bad job presenting it? This gets at my heart, dude. Like this, I read this and I bought the game immediately.
Well, there's your marketing campaign.
Right.
The game is called Undershadows.
Mhm.
Let's get the description here. A child without a soul, a world drowned in shadow. Embark on an
Mhm.
eerie adventure, meet strange creatures, solve puzzles, and face horrifying foes. But the darkest threat lies deep
Mhm.
within yourself. By Chelsea Grin Eden. And
Mhm.
published by Chelsea Grin Eden. And we're going to show a little bit of this here on the
Yeah.
old screen while we talk about this because this does not look amateurish.
No,
This
I couldn't do
looks,
this.
yeah, this does not look amateurish. This looks like very purposeful, um, and very it 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 looks like it's unique. Like it's a unique looking experience. Um, Everything hand drawn, which obviously you could pretty much
Mhm.
tell here.
Yeah.
So did you get to play it at all before the
Yeah,
show?
I did. So
Okay,
I
tell
did
us about
want
it.
to say let's look into camera one here. Chelsea, I played your game. I like your game. It has rough edges, but I like it. It's weird, but I like weird. And when I have enough time on this game, I will post a review on our website and on Steam, and I will give you feedback and criticism. It's a very unique game, Steven. It had when you first start off, it has a like a desktop computer situation. You can
Hmm.
click icons and do certain things, like check on the day's news, check your photo gallery. There's a live camera feed going somewhere ominous. There's a game within a game, which I spent like maybe 20 minutes, half an hour playing. It's called Heart Knight. You're a little like Dark Souls light knight warrior heart guy, and your heart's on this labyrinth maze. And you have to go through the course to get it. And there's like evil purple hearts that will attack you.
Hmm.
And if they touch you, there's like an actual little combat phase, which I wasn't prepared for. I thought it was instant death. That was kind of cool. And then it shifts to like a top-down RPG situation. It's really strange.
Yeah,
And
it's yeah.
I know that I'm not done with it.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
not turned off by it. And I liked what I saw for like an hour's worth of gameplay.
Do you think it
Uh
has a learn like do you think it has a presentation problem of like what is this? Because
yeah, I didn't know what to expect going in. Like I saw the graphics of it 'cause I clicked on the Steam page when I saw the post on Reddit,
yeah.
and I was like, okay, this looks like kind of what I typically am drawn towards. The spooky, kind of like shadowy, simple look. It's got some pixel art, which I
Minimal
always go for.
animations, but like
Yeah,
yeah.
and I could see the passion and the heart. Like someone crafted this whole world, and I wanted to explore.
Yeah.
And I don't spend my dollars that easily on Steam these days. Um, so I took a gamble, and I haven't regretted it. Now it is only it's a clicky game. It's a mousy clicky game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm not sure if it'll translate to the Steam Deck. I'm not sure it's optimized well because it's about I think a 10 gigabyte download. I think
500 tracks.
true, very true.
That's probably
Thirty-seven
where that
thousand
is.
images, Andy.
No, that I could, whatever. But if you're not compressing those songs,
Right,
like 500's a
right,
lot of music.
right. But this is also the same size as like Hollow Knight, so that's where I'm comparing it to.
Well, I guess we'll find out how long it is, right? Like we don't know how long it is. I'm actually
Uh,
I'm gonna also play this
but
game.
it just hits harder for us because we've heard success stories and failures from developers. Um, there was a developer that we had on the show. This actually is a good like. Where are they now? Uh, The Night is Gray. Remember that game?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
That an adventure game?
Hmm.
Okay. So the developer hit me up on Twitter saying, "Hey, do you need a code or a key to cover the game?" Like months after it came out. I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not? I didn't even know it was here. I didn't know it was released." And he said, "Yeah, we're in a really bad spot. We're working on a brand new game, which I'll tell you about later. But the game reviewed really well, but the sales just
They weren't there.
they don't match. Like the reviews and the sales aren't. There's a huge disparity between both, and that's we hear that story of like a really good game, like it's lost in a sea of a million games on Steam,
Yeah.
and this game only exists on Steam and nowhere else. So yeah, hearing stories like that, we've had friends who've had studios shut down. Remember that Pizza Titan Ultra game from like a
Yeah.
1,000 years ago?
Yep.
They're no longer that's gone. That studio's gone.
Yep.
It just sucks. And it just seeing this one person give so much of themselves into a game, and even like they would have welcomed this game sucks.
Yeah.
Not even that.
Yeah. That's yeah.
They would have preferred like 60 negative reviews over literally zero people playing your game.
Yeah.
7 years of work. Chelsea, it was worth it, dude. I like your game.
And I'm gonna play it too. So there you
Yeah.
go. Because it looks like it's doing something that's unique enough for me to want to give it a
Mhm.
try. Like it looks like I don't like point and click adventures, and then it's not that. It has a little bit of that, like a little bit of
Yeah.
clicky
But
clickies.
that's how it lures you in.
Yeah, but it's got more than that.
Also, amateurish. Undertale, you could say, looked amateurish when it first was debuted.
What
It means
was
nothing.
what was the name?
Visuals are nothing.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with having something that is uniquely yours
Yeah.
and doesn't do
It's your own
what
style.
everyone else does. Like this
Do
could
I
be
say to myself, "Oh, this is MS Paint"? Maybe when I'm looking at it, a little bit.
MS Paint.
You know,
You know what
nothing wrong with that.
MS Paint is going to be
Nothing wrong with that at
discontinued
all.
soon. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Believe it.
So yeah, it's wild.
It is wild.
But no, I would say take your lumps, lesson learned, but don't stop making games, dude. Like you have, I wish I had half the talent to
Yeah.
even start making a game.
To just learn a new thing, like a new skill, you learned
You're
like 12.
self-taught.
Like
I know.
7 years is not a lot. 7 years is what like 7 years is like a doctorate. You got a doctorate in video games. Like congratulations. Now
Yeah.
keep doing it. Like
Yeah.
now open your practice. Speaking of practice, we have our Kickstarter of the week, Andy, who
Oh,
are
dude.
they've practiced launching and have obliterated their goal.
Dude.
Yes. Monsterpatch, a cozy monster
theme.
collecting
We
RPG,
got a
a love
theme.
letter to retro monster collecting games that blends unique farming and town building mechanics. Da, 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 da. 19 days to go, 2,967 backers, $166,282 raised of a goal of $15,000. Let's take a look at Monsterpatch. This looks adorable. Game Boy era style, probably, you know, little monster taming meets Stardew, sort of.
Yeah.
It looks very cute, and I could see why this people would go banana for this. There is a distinct group in the world that eats this shit up. Like, but with that said though, like there were some that just don't hit, right? Like there are some that don't do it. But this seems to tickle all of the desires of this community. The monster taming community, the monster battling community, the town building community, the retro art community, the Game Boy, you know, love community, which there's full ass like Kickstarter like groups out there that are just making Game Boy games. This looks great. It looks great.
Yeah, I love how it has a like a Game Boy Color vibe to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
like it's a limited palette, but it's not like Game Boy Advance or full blown Game Boy. It's like right in that Game Boy Color era of games. The look of it, yeah, it looks really cute. Some really fun and cute designs on these critters. Yeah, crushing the goal with 20 days to go.
They got funded in
It's
16 minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
they've unlocked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stretch goals so far.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So click the link in the show description. Look up Monsterpatch on Kickstarter if you want to back a new monster taming and cozy town farming town builder. Do it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna hit that last goal, which is getting it on the Switch.
Oh yeah,
I think that's what's probably driving the funding.
Without a doubt. That's it. Also, without a doubt, that's going to bring us to the end of the show. We did it, Andy.
Yeah,
we got there. We got there. We did the whole show. Is there anything you want to tell our listeners before we wrap things up? Anything you want to share with anybody or?
No, I would say go to our YouTube and like all the things. Liking our content helps push us into the algorithm, so please do that. If you're not going to comment, if you're not going to watch for a long time, at least give us a like.
Yes, I think what I'm going to do, I think, Andy, what I'm going to do is any comment on any of our videos from this date, so the date of the show's release, which will be 4/5, until our next show's release. We'll do it live on next show. All comments are going to be entered to win a prize.
Oh, wow.
And we'll draw that prize and we'll contact that person, you know, off air, but we'll pick that comment. I'm going to take their names and their comments. I'm going to put them in a spreadsheet and then we're going to randomize and the winner will get a prize. What will that prize be? I don't know. Maybe some Steam credits or a Steam game.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll throw a video game at you. Maybe one of the games we spoke about on this very show. As a matter of fact, if you comment right now below this video on youtube.com/@indieRift, comment your favorite game that we showed you this week. Do that. We'll throw you in the Excel spreadsheet, the randomizer. Win yourself a prize. Thank you, Andy. It's a pleasure doing a show with you, as always.
Good stuff. Good stuff today.
Thank you, listeners. Thank you, viewers. And as always, please be excellent to each other.